Good afternoon and welcome back to Gliwice here in Poland for the second round of games in the Poland Cup. We have for your delectation Leicester Tigers against the 4K Jokers Bydgoszcz, who came second in the Polish Championship. Tigers came second in the English Premiership, having been pipped by Northampton Saints, who are also here. So Jokers played Saints in their first game and came away second best on that occasion, 26-11 to the Saints. But they'll be looking to turn that around. As you can see there from the table, Saints with a 15-try advantage top the table from Tigers, who managed to beat the hugely impressive team from Mykolaw by just 2 points, having trailed by 2 at the half. And the Jokers obviously bringing up the foot of the table, but that could all change. Tigers were really surprised by the brilliant play by the Riders in their first game. They'll be prepared now, and they won't want any more upsets. But we look at the teams, and the numbers are not as you see them there, so I'll run through them as I have them. Wearing number 3 is Tomasz Widera. Wearing number 8 will be Anton Kazimierowicz. 21 will be Kamil Otowski. Number 7 will be Sebastian Jaszyński. Number 3 is Mateusz Zebrowski. 13, Tomasz Gawor. And 15, Jacek Zawrzewski. So that's the Jokers team for you. And here we have the Tigers team. And again, the numbers aren't quite what they should be, but I'll just run through them for you. So as I have them, number 10, wearing 10 will be Vicky Bloor-Ross. Number 8 is Dan Harvey. Number 9 will be Tom Folwell. 11, Taylor Goff. 12, Jamie Stead. Lawrence Ball is wearing 4. Jack Coulson is 14. No Joe Smith. Sadly left his passport behind, so couldn't make the trip. Wearing 2 is Darren Bragg. Number 7 will be Richard Copson, and number 30 will be Dave Wilkinson. So that's the two teams for you. Our 2 referees, both from Poland, are Natalia Moisa and Kasia Valkanis. And this will be quite new to them, refereeing wheelchair rugby 5s, a variation of the Paralympic discipline, and a number of differences between the 2 games just to take you through. So we have a running clock of 2 12-minute halves. The clock does get stopped in the last 2 minutes of the game, and when somebody goes into the penalty box. It can also be stopped at the request of the referees if they think a part of the game is taking too long. The teams each get 2 30-second timeouts, generally taken during live play as opposed to dead ball situations. There's no 0.5 reduction for athletes over the age of 45 or for female athletes, where they get an additional 0.5 allowed on court. You have 10 points on court of the classification. Obviously in the Paralympic discipline we have 8 points as the maximum classification total. Well, here, because there's 5 players, it's 10 points. And players are classified slightly differently. So if you're a 0.5 in the Paralympic discipline, you'll still be a 0.5 in the 5s version, but that's generally where it ends. So the players with a lot more function in the 5s version are generally up to 3 points. Haven't seen any 3.5 classifications as yet. But yeah, players who are still classifiable for the Paralympic version will be of the lower end of the classification scale. So that makes a difference. And the other the other difference is you can make substitutions after tries have been scored. which you can't do in the Paralympic game unless you call a coach's timeout. There's another reason for a stoppage in play. So because of the fast nature of this game and the shortened halves, we do allow substitutions after tries have been scored, and that gets more players on court. Tigers starting with a different starting five from the one that commenced their first game. Dave Wilkinson, who I called out as wearing number 30, is actually wearing 22. He's on court with Jamie Stead, the Paralympic gold medalist. Taylor Goff, number 11. Lawrence Ball, wearing 4. And Tom Folwell, wearing 9. So slightly different lineup from the 5 that started against the Riders. And the Jokers, looks like they're starting with number 3, Tomasz Videra, number 21, Kamil Otowski, 13 is Tomasz Gawor, 35, Tomasz Videra, number 8, Anton Kazimierowicz, who's not Polish, hails from Belarus. So we'll see how these teams go and whether these lineups work for each of the teams. Plenty of opportunity to ring the changes, both teams with a number of options on the bench. Tigers with even more so. The game on court 2 between Northampton Saints and the Jokers has already started. Looks to be a slight delay here for us, with them sorting out the game clock. All done by computers these days, and they're just trying to get the 12 minutes set up. As you can see, the clock there stubbornly remaining on 0, and the yellow zeros are the score, and the 2 2s that you can see refer to the timeouts. So we'll also have the score for you in the top left-hand corner of your screen, and that'll also have the game clock. It won't show you the 40-second possession clock, but I'll do my best to keep an eye on that for you. So we're just trying to get things sorted. Technical difficulties. Computers are wonderful when they work, not so great when they don't. So they're already under 9 minutes remaining in the first half of the game on court 2, and we're up now. Looks like we've got our 12 minutes onto the game clock. So helped out by one of the referees not currently refereeing at the moment, but Jarek Malek from Poland, who refereed recently at the World Championships in Denmark. And he'll be refereeing here later today. So referee Moisa gets the game underway, and it's the Jokers that come up with the first possession. And Gavor with the ball, yep, and he's over the line for the first try. So as a consequence of the Jokers coming up with the first possession, Tigers get the possession arrow, and it's Jamie Stead bringing it away, trying to get over that halfway line within the 12 seconds, puts the ball up for Tom Folwell. He can't get it, but great try there by Taylor Goff, just getting that ball in before it crossed the line. So it looked as if Tigers might have squandered that first opportunity, which is exactly what they did in the first game, but they managed to pull it in. So players from each side being righted. Jamie Stead, you can't see him out of shot, and in the Tigers half has been righted, and also number 13 Tomasz Gawor. It's in with Videra, and Jamie Stead trying to put pressure on. Good little pick there, but Videra is able to get free. Stead going wheel to wheel with him, but good wheels from Videra. Oh, but the pass isn't there. Not a miscommunication there with Gavor. I think Videra was expecting him to hold his position, but for the pass, but it didn't happen. So it's a Tigers inbound from the sideline through Dave Wilkinson, and it looks like Stead is going to be the main ball carrier and be looking for Folwell down court as Stead gets the ball back from Lawrence Ball, a man who hails from Thrumpton in Nottinghamshire. And it'll be number 35, Tomasz Videra, with the inbound. Big long inbound that may have too much wheels on it. Tom Folwell won't look to play the ball, he'll look to play the player there. Very clever play there. And the ball will be an inbound from the, if it wasn't touched, it should be an inbound from the other end of the court, but the Polish team are very conveniently keying up, so it's not an issue. So only 3 players. And leaving the court there, number 8, Anton Kazimirovic, forced over his own try line between the posts, and a penalty try awarded by referee Natalia Moisa. So that's 3-1, Tigers with an early lead. Number 3, Zebrowski, still has possession, and it'll be Videra, I suspect, to inbound again. Tigers this time keying up. Very, very difficult with 5s to break down a tough 5-key defence. There's not a lot of space. Teams tend to set up in a W or an M formation, but great work there by Zebrowski to find his way around the corner. That was a bit of slack defending there by Tigers. Jamie Stead takes the inbound from Taylor Goff and gets down court very, very speedily and goes coast to coast for Tigers' 4th try, that'll be. Just waiting for the scoreboard to flip over. Yep. So Tigers with an early advantage, and Videra not able to find his mark for that earlier inbound. And again, the inbound going loose, but fortunately, it's Gavor that comes up with it, but the ball is loose again. Gavor gets it, throws it over halfway to get it over there within the 12 seconds. And Dave Wilkinson, again, very cleverly, not looking to play the ball, just play the player, knowing that that Tigers would get the inbound. So Jamie Stead, his first tournament in the 5s discipline. GBWR doesn't tend to like its elite players to play 5s. It wants to wrap them up in cotton wool a little bit to preserve them for the all-important elite games. But Stead's putting pressure on Zebrowski there, and he comes up with the ball. Great play by the gold medalist from Tokyo, with an MBE to his name, as every player in that squad was rewarded with. And Stead takes it in. They seem to have lost a score off the Tigers. It should be 5-2. Yeah, that's no, we're up to 6-2. Having a bit of fun on the scoreboard, and the Polish team being pressurised again into an error. A line violation there as the player came back onto the court after the inbound. So Tigers get the ball from the corner. Ball is in with Folwell. And he drives in, hugely powerful player there, and he's across the line. I said in the first game this morning that I didn't think the hits were as big as I'd been anticipating, but I think it might be this arena. It's just so huge. It sucks all of the impact and the noise from all of these collisions. But Videra there is struggling to find her player on the inbound. I mean, that's good pressure from Tigers, but it's not good play by the Jokers. Tigers take the opportunity to ring the changes. On comes co-captain Rich Copson, and also number 8. That's Dan Harvey as well for the Tigers, who further extend their lead, 8-2. Videra gets the ball in, gets it into Zebrowski. He does very well. He seems to be their main ball carrier, gets his bounce in. And good, but Folwell there with good pressure. Videra with the ball, not looking to score himself, gets the ball to number 13, Tomasz Gavor, and he crosses. So not as many of the Bydgoszcz players seeming quite so comfortable on the ball as the Tigers players. Nice pass down the line there from Jamie Stead, and a quick turn from Folwell gets him clear of the defence. And it's a 9-3 game, as we have about 4.5 minutes of this first half left on the clock. The clock's still running at the moment. It won't stop until we enter the last 2 minutes of this half. Very clean game so far. Oh, another great steal there by Jamie Stead, as Zebrowski was looking for players down court, and Gavor going in there on Folwell, trying to prize that ball loose, but these military guys don't like to give that ball up. They're tenacious in terms of their grip. So Folwell holds on and scores the try. And once again, it's Zebrowski taking it clear, met by Folwell. Good pass to Gavor, and that's the axis that seems to work most effectively for the Jokers, as the mechanics come onto the court to help right Zebrowski. He's taken a tumble after coming up against Tom Folwell, but he got his pass away, and they scored, so he won't be too concerned. So it'll be number 11 for the Tigers, Taylor Goff, a former professional rugby union player with the Tigers, and the ball is intercepted, but it's still going to be a Tigers inbound from the corner this time. Always a little more tricky to inbound from the corner than it is from the baseline, where you have the option to move up and down. But Vicky Bloor-Ross with her first foray into this game, and a nice handoff there to Taylor Goff, who finds Tom Folwell. It's a simple game when it's done as well as that. Now Tigers are immediately putting pressure. Oh, stopping the game. No, whistle had already gone. Yeah, whistle had already gone for an equipment timeout call there, called by Kasia Valkanis. So it looked like number 21, Kamil Atowski, for the Jokers had called an equipment timeout, but it looks as if it's going to be called now as a player timeout. So the Jokers using the first of their two. And yeah, I don't think the players had quite heard the whistle go for that timeout call. So the coach and the captains get 30 seconds in which to tell their guys what they want to do. The team that called the timeout determines when they finish their timeout. They're back on court, and it'll be Videra with the inbound, number 35, and they've got the ball in safely this time, and it's as usual Zebrowski who's bringing it away, finds Gavor, he goes under the pile, and that's a great long pass. Can Zebrowski get it? No, just a little bit too much on that pass. That's a shame, because that was a beautifully worked move there, with Zebrowski handing off to Gavor. He went underneath the pile, as we call it, and then sent the long pass to Zebrowski, who'd gone down court. Sadly, it didn't didn't pay the dividends. But Gavor gets the inbound after Copson's inbound doesn't find the mark. So good intercept there, and pulls one back for the Jokers. Short, yeah, it's gone onto the scoreboard now. 11-5, Tigers lead. So we're into the last 2 minutes now, and so on each occasion the ball is dead, we will see the clock stop, and Dave Wilkinson returns to the fray. Tom Folwell takes a well-earned rest. Oh, Gavor with a big arm in there. The referees don't call it an illegal use of hands because Wilkinson wasn't prevented from continuing. So good play of the advantage law there by the referees. Nice to see that happen. No need to stop the game and slow it down. And Zabrowski bringing it away again, outstrips Jack Coulson and Rich Compson. Met by Wilkinson, but no, he takes it in all the way. 12-6 though, the strong start there here in this first half to the Tigers. Wilkinson not able to get his pass away to Vicky Bloor-Ross, but Compson picks up the loose ball, and it's back to Wilkinson. This time he does find Bloor-Ross. Her husband is working the 40-second clock on this game. He refereed the Tigers in their first game, but it's a turnover, and Zabrowski was bringing it away, but he'll have to settle for a sideline ball. So it's still Joker's ball. They have a new 40 seconds, and a great pass in from Videra there. That's his best inbound of the game so far, finding Zabrowski. Tigers ring the changes. Back on comes Lawrence Ball, and Darren Bragg with his cap on. He should be taking that off, to be honest. That shouldn't be allowed for players to be wearing peaked caps in the game. So Lawrence Ball gets the ball over halfway. Wilkinson manages to gather it. It was quite fortunate there for the Tigers because there wasn't enough on that ball really. But it's Videra to be the inbounder once more. As Tigers take a 13-7 lead into the last 45 seconds of this game. Bloor-Ross halts the progress of Zabrowski. He gets it over halfway, gets his bounce in, and Jack Coulson isn't able to stop him at the line. So it's Darren Bragg and Jack Coulson who are classifiable players for the Tigers. They both play in the Paralympic version of the game, and we've had a contact before the whistle warning against the Jokers, Bydgoszcz team. So if they transgress in the next 30 seconds again, somebody will be finding themselves in the bin, or there'll be a turnover. But good pressure, double teaming Dave Wilkinson, but he gets a long ball away, and Vicky Bloor-Ross does extremely well to get on the end of it. And Anton Kazimirovic tried to cut her off there, the three-point player from Belarus, but was unable to stop Bloor-Ross from crossing. And it's 14-8 with just 17 seconds remaining of this first half. So Zabrowski taking the long route. Bloor-Ross trying to cut him off, as does Jack Coulson, but it's a great try and leaves just 11 seconds on the clock. Good pass in from Lawrence Ball there, finds Dave Wilkinson. He's looking for that long ball again to Bloor-Ross. She just can't get it, just evades her, and the ball goes off the court. So 1 second left for Videra to get the ball into the clock won't stop until the ball is touched. So if he can launch the ball the length of the court to somebody on the try line, they have a chance. But sadly, the whistle will go. No, we've already run out to 0, and we haven't had the clock stopped. We have had the clock stopped. Yeah, So the buzzer on the clock, the game clock, doesn't appear to be particularly loud to let everybody know. So at the half, we have Leicester Tigers 14, 4K Jokers Bydgoszcz 9. So a few turnovers at the end brought the Jokers back into, well, closer contention than they had. The teams get a 2-minute break now, and I'm going to take a quick break myself before I join you. I'm going to get some water and rehydrate and keep my vocal cords nice and lubricated. So I'll be back with you very shortly. So one of the innovations we have here at the arena is these fantastic pictures you can now see on your screen, which are coming from a drone hovering over the court. During the gameplay, the drone is off to the side of the court, so it doesn't interfere. But when we get these breaks in play, the drone comes into its own and gives you these amazing shots from above of the Tigers having their team talk, and a fantastic innovation. when it came over where I'm sat commentating in the earlier game, there's such a downdraft from the drone. It actually shot all my all my notes and papers off the table. Such was the force of the downdraft. So I've got everything securely anchored this time, just in case it comes my way. But fabulous innovation into the game, and great to see these things happening, and fabulous to be able to live stream these games for our viewers in the UK who are watching, and also people here in Poland. And I suspect we'll have a few people across the globe watching. People will be very interested to see how these fives games look, because not many people will have seen it. GB first introduced the sport. The team from GB, Leicester Tigers, get the second half underway. And a first foul of the game there, committed by Bydgoszcz, who finds himself in the bin for illegal use of hands. And he'll be in the bin for 1 minute, or until Leicester Tigers score. And it'll probably be the latter that happens first. Very rarely we see a player serve the full 1 minute. But, back to what I was saying about fives, the discipline that was introduced in GB first. So Bydgoszcz allowed back out of the penalty bin onto the court. Had it been a penalty try that Tigers scored, then he would have had to have remained in the penalty box. He's going wheel to wheel with Wilkinson then, who forces him over the sideline. Great play there from the 37-year-old Tigers player, who's been playing the game for 5 years now. And it's Jamie Stead, and Tigers have the opportunity to further extend their lead. Player leaving the court, penalty try is scored. So the score we have now is 15-10. Tigers lead it. I'm not so sure that they didn't put the first try on the Jokers' side of the scoreboard there, but in the scheme of things, I don't think it's going to matter too much, as Tigers have still got a healthy lead. 15-11 at the moment, as Otowski not quite able to cut off Jamie Stead, and Kazimirovic has a go as well, and it's number 10, Vicky Bloor-Ross, who manages to cross the line for the Tigers. The ex-military player, three of the Tigers team with military experience, all having come through the Invictus Games route, and, all having won medals in various disciplines. And the Invictus Games has certainly brought a lot of new players, and Wilkinson there, one of those players creating that steal. But it wasn't actually a steal, because it's still possession for the Jokers. It'll be Videra entrusted once again with the inbound. Whole hand in there from Wilkinson again, but Zebrowski just managed to stay in court, but it's Tigers that come up with the loose ball, and it's Jamie Stead to Vicky Bloor-Ross once more. So Tigers further extending that lead, 17-11. Tigers managing, you can't see it here on the screen, but Tigers managing to keep the Jokers very high on court, and as a consequence managed to get that inbound. Wilkinson getting an early bounce in despite the close attentions of a couple of Jokers players, and Tom Folwell back on court takes it in for Tigers' 18th try. Videra with a long ball, but brilliantly hauled in there by Kazimirovic. He's protecting that ball from Bloor-Ross. She has a big swipe, but the pass just goes astray, and it's Wilkinson that picks it up. He pops it over halfway, and Folwell gets away from number 13, Thomas Gavor. He did dislodge the ball momentarily, but Folwell was equal to it. An equipment call from Wilkinson. He needs a new wheel by the looks of things. And the Tigers mechanics will come out and replace. He's taken his wheel off to help them, which is very, very helpful. And there he even looks after the dead one. So very slick wheel change there. And it looks as if Wilkinson's had to leave the court, so Tigers making a substitution. So we have Darren Bragg, Taylor Goff, Lawrence Ball, joining Jack Coulson and Tom Folwell. And Otowski getting on the scoreboard for the first time for the Jokers. So this Polish team not anywhere near as experienced. Great pick there by Darren Bragg there. Came back and helped free Tom Folwell there. As I was saying, the Jokers by nowhere near having the same level of experience as the Tigers players. And Jokers have got a player in the substitutes box at the moment, so they'll be looking to ring the changes, but they're forced to. There's a long ball as Folwell takes a tumble. Looks like number 9 is coming on. No, I can't see the number correctly. I'm looking at the wrong. So I'm looking at the emblem there. I'm not sure who it is coming on. It might be the coach. Maybe he's just querying something with the bench. He's going back, so not having a substitution. We're seeing Gavor sent to the penalty box there. So mini power play for the Tigers. The referees swap positions after a and the slight hold up in play is because the Polish coach is asking a couple of questions to the referees. So Tigers with the mini power play. Gavor in the penalty box. Folwell weaving his way round. Tigers have double teamed Zebrowski. They've identified him as the key player in this Polish lineup, and they will manage the clock. Tigers with 6.5 minutes. And looks like another error by the Polish team, and Kazimirovic will will join Gavor in the penalty box because of a 4 in the key infringement. So only 3 defenders allowed in the key. The 4th player, if he goes in, that means it'll either be a penalty try, but as Tigers were running the clock, they're not going to reward that. They're going to put him in the penalty box. So Tigers have a 5 players to 3 advantage and the opportunity to run the clock, which is down to 9 seconds now. Gavor comes out. Gavor is allowed out, and Kazimirovic will move up 1 slot in the penalty box. And Zabrowski brings it away. Great play by the man from Jokers, and he does really well to get in, despite Tom Folwell's attentions. Folwell takes the inbound. Taylor Goff trying to get it out of defence. Zabrowski putting pressure on, so Tigers being put under a lot of pressure by the 4 Polish players. That was very good play by the Jokers. And Tigers again with plenty of time on the clock, looking to run the clock down. And Kazimirovic allowed back onto the court now. He served his... So, number 13, Tomasz Gavor takes the inbound. Lawrence Ball doing a good job on Otowski, but Gavor with a great pass to Zabrowski, trying to go in backwards for a while. He finds Gavor, but no, the ball gets spilt, and just not enough care being taken by the Jokers in terms of their passing. They need to protect that ball a lot more. They're doing some really good things on court, but all too often that final pass just going astray, and Tigers taking advantage and now racking up a 10-try lead with 4 minutes 20 odd left on the court. And they're good. Videra with a loose inbound, but fortunately it comes up into a white-shirted hand, and that's a lovely piece of play there by Gavor. But oh, Kazimirovic does brilliantly there. I thought he was in danger of running over that ball at one point, and we'd have had a held ball called then, but he did fantastically well to free it up and get the try. Great play by the Belarusian. So Folwell takes it away. Initially started his rugby with the Ospreys team down in South Wales. Partly because of the Invictus players were coached by Paul Jenkins, who also coached the Ospreys, who were a real force in the early days of wheelchair rugby 5s. Since then, we've seen the likes of Tigers and Saints come to the fore, and it was these 2 teams that topped the Premiership. Had an amazing final game in the Premiership. Taylor Goff trying to get a hand in there and get a held ball, but Otowski does superbly well. Finds Zabrowski, he finds Gavor. And again, that tandem works extremely well for the Polish guys. Vicky Bloor-Ross on court there, number 10 for the Tigers, just out of shot, coming back now, looking to receive the inbound from Taylor Goff, which she does. The only female player in this 5s tournament. So good to see female players at the World Championships. There were 13 female players amongst the 12 international teams. And Australia had 3 on their roster, which was amazing to see. So Tigers lead it 25-15. 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Great long ball. Oh, Gavor just not able to grab it and pull it back in. So it'll be Tigers ball from the sideline. Taylor Goff, the former open side flanker, started his rugby union club career with Leicester Forest East. A good strong local club down to the southeast of Leicester, and it's a a rare turnover there by the Jokers, so they'll be pleased to have cut that deficit and pleased to have turned the Tigers over. We've got Dan Harvey, the 36-year-old PT from Leicester, has only been playing the game 2 years. He's going to take a rest, and back on comes number 4, Lawrence Ball. So Taylor Goff looking for Dave Wilkinson, his three-point player. You look for the higher point players with the more function to receive the inbounds if you can. Long ball from Blore Ross trying to find Copson, but then a second turnover by the Jokers. Good pressure from them on the Tigers, forcing them to go for those long balls to get the ball over halfway in the 12 seconds that's allowed. Big inbound there from number 15, Bydgoszcz. So we haven't seen much of him, but he gets the ball back further up the court, and he finds Gavor. He's taking the long route round. And Kazimirovic looks to block Blore Ross for him, but Wilkinson in there with a hand, very fast hands in there, but Gavor comes back up with it. A lot of attention there, but he does brilliantly to get the ball to Kazimirovic. And the high point player, the single three-point player that the Jokers have, crosses the line. Blore Ross, another three-point player for the Tigers. They have the luxury of 3 three-pointers on their team. But once again, Tigers cough up the ball, but it's fine because they managed to call the timeout, and that also gives them the opportunity to ring the changes. So each team, with a minute left in this game, have 1 timeout remaining. Tigers very, very cleverly used that timeout to their advantage. Good clock and game management in their first game. So Taylor Goff looks to find Tom Folwell. Good pass over the halfway. That's the perfect result for the Tigers, who steady the ship after a couple of poor passages of play and coughed up the ball a couple of times. And had it not been for using the timeout on their previous possession, could have had a hat-trick of turnovers. Oh, a very speculative ball over the head, down court, sets off Zebrowski, and he crosses. He's been the standout player, closely followed by Gavor for the Polish team. We've not seen everybody used by the Polish team. Yet to see Jasinski take the court, but he seems to be the one in charge, calling the shots from the bench. Oh, and a poor inbound there, I'm afraid, by Jajewski, and that'll be one of the simplest tries that Vicky Blore Ross ever gets to score. So Tigers doing a great job on keeping the Jokers down court, but that's a great inbound from Jajewski. More than makes up for the previous one, and great block on Lawrence Ball by Kazimirovic for Zebrowski to score, and the Polish team making a good fist of it. Just 9 the deficit, treble teaming Tom Folwell, but he's equal to it, gets the ball away to Taylor Goff, and he shows good pace and a good using Lawrence Ball to lead him out and cover the block. And he gets the ball away to, we see Lawrence Ball there, stopping Zebrowski so that the pass could go to Vicky Blore Ross. So, good play by the Tigers, who train at De Montfort University on, used to be on Fridays, I think it probably still is. And another Tigers come up with another turnover. Oh, Vicky Blore Ross took a blow there. And not sure why the game has stopped there. Oh, it stopped because we've run out of time. I was so focused on the play there, I hadn't realised we'd come to the end of the game. Simon, stay more focused on the clock. But a great game. Tigers win it 29-19 against Jokers Bydgoszcz, who played a really strong latter stages of the game and came good, put a lot of pressure on, but sadly they weren't equal to it. They've improved from their first game. They only managed 11 tries against the Saints. And they've upped that to 19 in their second game against Tigers, but they have conceded a few more as well. But that'll put Tigers and Saints in possessions 1 and 2, I suspect, although I haven't seen the result yet from Court 2. Don't know whether the Riders were able to spring an upset, but we'll get the table to you before the start of the third game. And that third game starts at 3:10 local time, and it's 2:10 if you're watching in the UK, and that'll be Leicester Tigers versus Northampton Saints. So each team playing 3 games today against the other 3 teams in the pool, and tomorrow they'll have 2 games. We'll have crossover games at 11:50 local time, and then the final will be at 4 o'clock local time. So just seeing the scores there, we haven't yet got the score from scores from Court 2. Those also show you the Polish Championship games between, we saw Four Kings beat Prague Robots by 10, having earlier seen the Flying Wings beat Balian pretty comfortably 56-34. So Tigers there lining up for their team photo, and they'll be back in action against Northampton Saints at 3:10 local time. Hope you'll be able to join us and enjoy the third Wheelchair Rugby 5s game here today. So this is Simon Starr signing out. Thanks for joining us. Take care. Bye.